Molly, you're like a running machine. Amazing.
I'm trying.
Is it feeling like you're gaining?
I feel like I'm getting
endurance?
stronger.
Cool.
I'm definitely getting stronger, but I also have my doubts of whether or not I can actually do it.
Well, the one you did like 10.5 miles, was that like a pretty good incline?
Yes. The problem was it wasn't like a great running trail. So kind of like Humphreys. You can't really run Humphreys.
Who would want to?
I don't know. I need to like really figure out some like mantras or something to really help myself believe that I can do it.
Yes.
Because most of the time I'm like, what am I doing? I can't do this. I'm so slow.
Oh my gosh.
You're not slow. I think it's realistic to be like, this is going to be the hardest thing I've ever done. So maybe think of it more like that. Like, this is hard. This will be the hardest thing I ever do.
Yeah.
But don't let it be like, talk yourself out of it or talk yourself down.
Right.
Like, it's like, no, of course you're going to be like, what am I doing? I've never done this before. So instead of being like, oh, use it as like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do my best shot, then leave it all out there.
My friend who did she did an Ironman, she lives with MS. There came a point, I think it was during the last portion of the run, and it was like her coach just kept telling her, I just want you to count each step to 200 and then restart 200, like to like truly be present in the moment. Like, okay, I did 100 steps. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Iron Man. Oh
yeah. Wild. So that could be something too, of like having some sort of like numerical something to like be present, but also forget things and clear your mind or have your mind focus on something
What is
else.
really nice on the run, they have each mile marked. It's like on the actual race, you're like, okay, one less mile I have to do, another less mile I have to do. And that is really helpful. I think it's not like you're training to do a 5K and you're like, I can't do this. No, you're training to do something you've never done before. You've never even done really, I mean, your half marathon was kind of a trail run, I guess.
Yeah, I was on a dirt road.
But like you've never done like a single track trail run before.
Right.
So
well, and because I'm watching the DCC, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader show on Netflix. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed.
It's so good. I watched it in like one day.
We're on episode like the second to last one. But one thing that
Kevin's watching it too.
Well, he was like, this is stupid. But then he's like, he'll be in his office and he hears me turn it on and he like runs in and he sits down and he watches it. So, but like the thing is like I grew up watching like Making the Team. Like that was just something like I loved. Anyways, but one of the girls, Kelsey, the veteran, she had told all the rookies like, and she got all emotional about it, but she was like, I just want you to like stop and just like take in. And so that's also something like, like take in the views and enjoy it, you know, because not everybody physically can even do what you're going to get to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm going to be cheering you on, even though I hate running, mad that I can't do what you're doing or whatever, you know, like you're getting to do it on behalf of people who can't. So Simo, you have so many now little, like,
there's so much good in it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think I need the coaching, you know, I feel like I need that. Do you want
me to like record
like
myself
what extent of like
things?
do this or like,
well, because I even like on Strava, there was like a marathon training that you could sign up for. And I haven't really been following it. I mean, I've been like, because my rest days are different. And so I like tried to have something, but then one, I feel like I'm trying to remain really in tune with my body because I don't want to get injured because it'll just ruin everything. And so I'm not like, today I have to run 2 hours or today I have to run 11 miles or whatever. Like, I'm just like, what am I capable of today? Like yesterday was intense and I fell and kind of hurt myself. So like, what could I do today? Well, I could do the stair stepper, and I really want to do more strength training because I think that's what kind of made me fall yesterday is that I need to like really build up my muscles so that they're able to maneuver.
Yeah.
So, but I think the coaching that I need is like the verbal coaching, you know, or like, here's what I want you to say to yourself when you feel this way, or here, you know, like I
Mhm.
just, cause I don't have,
You don't have the good
I just don't
self.
have that,
Yeah.
you know, and I wasn't really coached in cross country, you know, because I was like
Right.
not
Right.
important. So,
Well, that's good to know. I
Mhm.
can come
and
up
I
with some
don't
stuff.
like, I don't want it to be the only thing that we talk about, because I want to be like respectful, you know. I don't, because I also don't know what that's like for you. Like if we're talking about it all the time, I don't want that to be like, make
I'm
you feel
living
bad 'cause you're not
vicariously through
doing
you, so you don't feel bad for me.
it.
Like if anything, like this is my role. If I get to be coach, beautiful.
I mean, that's what and like, if you want to send me strength training,
I know I need to do it for Abby too. I
videos,
just need to do.
because I did find a guy who I really like, and I think there's some good ones in there, but I'll take more.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, because you really need to build
like,
up like your muscular endurance is really what you need.
mhm.
And running is like cardiovascular endurance with like a little bit of strength, but like
I mean, Lord knows my lungs need help too, but
mhm.
I don't really know what you can do for that.
You almost need 2 more like fast twitch. Cause like what the part of the reason I love trail running is because I love to rock hop and like
Mhm.
almost like bound off the rocks, but you have to
You need like
that
agility.
fast twitch.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so you have to, I don't know, like get a ladder and do those things, or I don't know. It's just
Mhm.
like a different muscle,
Yeah.
like the endurance you've got, but it's just that like,
Which is where the trail yesterday was good, because I wasn't necessarily running, but I was like hoofing it on that hike.
right. It's like
'Cause the
different kind of
average
focus too.
time that it takes people to do that is like 5 hours, and I did it in less than 3.5.
Whoa.
Amazing.
Because I was running most of the flat areas, especially on the way up.
Uh-huh.
And the mosquitoes were so thick that you couldn't stop. If you stopped, they were just like all over your face. So I was like, well,
Oh my
I
god.
guess.
Were they like high pitched by your
Oh,
ears?
I mean, I got bites all over my arms.
my
I wore bug
gosh.
spray, but
Oh, that's
if you weren't
gross.
moving, then they
Oh
were just like,
no.
because even one of the videos I took up at the very top, you can see the mosquitoes just like flying.
Okay.
I want to believe that I can do it.
And
And I
you
don't
should.
know if I'm quite there yet.
Well, and you're not ready. No, if you
Well,
would,
and that's kind of what I was
yes.
saying to myself yesterday. Like, well, the race isn't tomorrow.
Right. Like you're not ready, but I think as time goes on, even you said when Emily first asked you, you said I'm getting stronger, and you are.
Well,
The fact that
I
you can go
did
hike 10 miles.
25 straight minutes on the stair stepper today without stopping.
That is great.
And a week and a half ago, I was only able to do 5 minutes at a time. So,
Yeah, give yourself some grace. You've never done this before. You've never trained like this before. And yeah, mentally, you just have to believe you're mentally tough. You just have to actually push past the like discomfort of doing something new because you can do it.
yeah. Yeah. Well, my therapist and I are working through some really fun stuff right now that I'm pretty sure is going to be linked or help all of that too. So that'll be good too, I think.
So what I need to do somehow is to like put on some pump up music and overlay my voice and then send you an MP3 or something.
Well, I'll send you the playlist I've been like going back to every time is a Taylor Swift running. It's like 165 to 180 beats per minute.
BPM. Mhm.
What? You can have songs that are that?
People make lists like that.
Oh yeah. Know that.
So yeah, I'll send it to you and then maybe you can like record over it or something.
Wow. Will you send it to me? I want to run to that.
It's so good.
And
That's fun. Or I can like pick a couple of songs and then do like a voiceover and then you just like add them to your playlist or something and to be like, all right, Mo, let's go. Give me 10, 20 strong strides or
it'd be so
like,
awesome to have her in your head.
I mean, so cool.
Whoa.
I think it would be so annoying. Wouldn't it be so annoying?
No, you're exactly who people need to hear when they're in the
Did you listen to music when you ran it?
part of it, but I only had Pandora. And so I didn't download anything. So at some point
you can't listen to stuff on race day.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't listen to stuff on yesterday either. Although part of that was like, if there are bears, I need to like be fully aware.
Like mountain lions. I mean, I was nervous for it because I was like, okay.
Yeah, there were definitely some interesting like scat on the trail.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't run it. I saw a marmot.
And you saw other people.
I did see other people.
Because that's
you had like pepper spray or something?
No, I should get something though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
have an
remember
extra
this
one.
one time. I was running out at lunch loops and it was like 5:30, kind of dusk. And I just had this feeling something was watching me. And I told Dad, and he was like, it's probably because there was something watching you. And there was a mountain lion.
Really? You saw it?
No, people have spotted mountain lions out there.
Oh man.
I know. So it's like,
Go where
no,
when there's lots of people.
yeah, go and there's lots of people. And then don't wear headphones.
I can't focus. Like on the pavement or whatever when I'm like dying. I need the music so that I can forget that I'm sweating so much.
Initially, like right out of the gates, I use it to like pump me up to get me going to like mile 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
But then as time goes on, it becomes too much of a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the top, coming back down when I'm like, it's like it's never going to end. I kick on some rap and it gets me to the bottom.
Yeah. No, right now my Bejeweled and Karma. What's Bejeweled? The Taylor Swift one.
I don't know if I know that one.
It just makes you want to like strut.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
man.
so good. So good. That's so good. Mine is anything by Megan Trainor. If that comes on, I'm like, yes. I love Megan Trainor. Also anything by Lizzo. Yes.
One.
Oh,
that's good.
It just makes
that
you feel
is a good one. Oh, that's a good running one.
Right? And it like it opens up your stride so much you can just like
everyone's a winner, they make it all day. All I wanna do is get my name. All I wanna do is
so good. Yeah, add that to your running list.
My songs are like, not today, Satan. You know, like
you're sort of like Jesus songs.
Mine is about like Poppity Cat. Oh yeah, the other one I think it's Megan Trainor is If I Were You, I'd Want to Be Me Too.
Oh, that is.
If I were you, I'd wanna be me too.
And then I'm just like, yeah, you would.
I'm gonna add that to.
It's so good.
Running too.
It came. You want me to do an unboxing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Do you think Angus did?
Yes.
Okay. So we made Impossible burgers tonight, but we made 4 because we were gonna have 1 each and then have 2 later. Then Kevin was on a phone call and I was like, I'm kind of still hungry. And so then I kind of like took a bite and then I took another bite and then I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna eat the whole thing. Well, then he was like, did you eat the other patty? He thought Angus ate it.
Yeah, I was upstairs cleaning the kitchen and I was like, oh my God, Angus ate a whole burger patty. We're gonna have to be on vomit alert tonight.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Amazing. So I have received a package. Adorable. Those are so cute.
Those are leftover bunny stickers from Annie's party that Millie found.
I love it. Wow, they did such a good job. So this is like my first unboxing. Oh, this is the other side. Kevin keeps trying to hand me scissors, so I'm just like, oh, I am excited. What is this bag? I've seen these bags, but
oh, good. Okay.
It's like so cool. I like now have a Stanley because of you. Cute. Happy birthday. Is this a cake?
Yes. I think he tried to do as many layers as you were old, but
I love it.
Ran out of room. And their favorite thing is to fold them up and make them look like an envelope. I don't know if you noticed that.
Wow, that looks like me. That is impressive.
So good.
So cute. Okay, everyone. First, we have this adorable, like, pool bag.
Yeah,
What's it?
we
Is
got it
called
for
a
the pool.
Bog bag.
bog bag, so it can get like wet and drain and stuff.
Mhm.
So cute. Wow. And it smells like rubber.
I think you can twist them. I think we twisted
Oh.
the handles to lay down, but you can twist them
Lay
so
down.
that they'll stay back.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Should I open one first? Is there anything? There's like this.
Oh, that one's kind of fun.
I think
This
those
one?
two go together.
The square one, yeah. Sure, the square one and the small one.
Yay. I always could use a good
I thought
fan.
it was so cute.
And it matches the bag.
You can take it to the pool with
Yes.
you.
It's perfect. Actually, I might bring it to VBS tomorrow because we're outside. Oh, a cute hair clippy. Ooh, maybe I'll wear this one right now. It's a little.
I remember you put your hair, you said you were like in your library era.
Like
I am. I'm
And so I
in
was
my.
like, oh, this one's, I've seen lots of girls who have these cute daisy clips. So I was
Mhm.
like, oh, we should get her one. of those. It's so cute.
Oh, I like that it's like, yeah, Daisy.
Cute. Oh, so
Okay.
cute.
What's next? Should I just like go from like smallest to biggest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That's so fun. Oh my gosh, is this like an over-shoulder bag? Ooh.
Do you have something like that?
I could always use more. I have just a black one, but it's like a big. Remember my fanny pack that I had on the cruise?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I currently have. But this one,
So I like to wear mine like
Yeah.
cross
yeah.
that way.
Oh, that is so cute. Good color too. I need to make it like longer. Okay. I'm just wear all my things. This is what
Cute.
happened. Remember when I was like younger, I'd like sleep with my
You
skip
skip
it.
it.
to wear everything on this podcast. Oh yeah, everyone. See that?
Really cute.
What's next? Oh, oh, ooh, a cute. Is this a dress?
It's so good.
Oh
it's
my
It's
gonna
really
look
cute.
amazing on you.
That is a really great length.
Good
See.
length, good fit. It's like
The cut,
athletic,
yeah.
but like
Oh, I love the color.
you're gonna look so good in it.
Ooh, oh, that's so cute. You want to go on a date? That is so. Where's that from?
Kohl's.
Kohl's, yeah. It's this
Oh.
really great brand.
Yeah,
That's
Molly.
like sporty.
Molly tried on everything and looked so
Okay.
cute and everything.
Oh, I like this brand. This is a yoga brand. Ooh, that's a pretty purple.
So we
Yeah.
thought that one
Okay.
would be cute going out dressed too, or like a good pool cover up.
Or good for like
Oh.
subbing or whatever. It's very
Yeah.
modest.
Yes.
Good
And like
length.
not tight, like form fitting. The other one is, but
The other
oh,
one, yeah, is, but
yeah, that's so good. Oh, I love it all.
good.
Yay.
That is so fun. Thanks, Kohl's. We'd love for you to sponsor us or bog bag. Cute.
I know, isn't that so fun?
So
fun.
trendy. You want to continue joining us?
Great, start getting rid of it.
Okay, bye.
Are you guys doing another episode?
We haven't even started.
Oh, so I'm not even interrupting.
No.
I mean, we also haven't talked in like weeks.
Yeah.
No, a lot to catch up on.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Don't.
Welcome to A Word with the Girls. I'm Molly, and I'm joined finally after all these weeks by my sisters Abby and Emily. We're so glad to be back. Make sure that you go follow us on Instagram at A Word with the Girls. And if you haven't subscribed to our podcast on Spotify, go ahead and click that follow button so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on YouTube and watch our episodes if you want. But we would love to hear from you. If you have a question or a word that you would like for us to discuss, make sure you comment either on Spotify, Instagram, or YouTube, and your word might be featured in a future episode. So before we dive into our word today, let's catch up. It's been a while, so we've probably got a lot, but how's everybody doing?
Great. It's good to be back. It's been a while. You know, it's funny because we were like, we're going to do this summer sister series, and then we've been MIA for like a month. But you know what? It's just life. And
It's
we're
our
authentic
party.
girlies.
We can do what we want.
Yeah, we do what we want, man.
Yeah. Well, if you all remember, I think it was our last episode. Abby was playing with her hair of like, should I cut it or not? Everyone, update. She did cut her hair.
Not as short as you were pretending.
I know.
No. It was like,
yeah, I know.
It's about collarbone length with some nice layers for those of you just
Yeah.
listening. But
Yeah.
nice.
Nice fresh cut.
and what else is the fun update, Abby? You finally have
We finally
Kimchi
have
2.0.
the camper.
Woo-woo.
Mhm.
The new memory maker. It's the best. We went on our first camping trip last weekend. It was awesome. Alex did so good. He's been watching all the YouTube videos on black tanks and certain hitches, sway control hitch, all these things. And he was just solid. Not
Awesome.
Yeah, just a steady man, that guy. So we had the best time. The kids loved it. We got one with bunkhouse in it and they just loved it.
I feel like the last few weeks I've been just traveling. I was in Connecticut, then I was in Dallas, and then we just got back from the lake where we celebrated my birthday and spent time at a YMCA camp, which was so amazing. If you live anywhere near like a YMCA that has like a lodge or cabins, like highly recommend going. They're like kind of all inclusive, and it just was awesome. We went canoeing and kayaking and swam in the lake and shot BB guns, and it was just super fun.
That is
So yeah. And now it's VBS week and I'm the leader of second graders. So I may lose my hearing by the end of the week with all the screaming, but it's fun. Lots of energy. And it's been a while since I've done VBS, so it's fun to get the kids excited about Jesus, you know.
Very cool. Well, I am still in school. I finish up my finance class tomorrow. I have one more paper to write for that one that's due on Sunday. And then my other class is about hearing and vision impairment. So that's been really interesting.
I wanted an update on how your project went.
Yes. So one of my projects was a simulation experience where I had to pretend to be blind, deaf, and then deaf and blind. 3 hours each impairment, and then write a paper about it. So yeah. And I had to do it with someone else like in the room with me, basically. Which meant that I had to rely on my family to help me. So yeah, I did one session with the kids and Abby, and then went to mom and dad's house to do the other two. And it was really hard, but really important. And I got a good grade on that paper. So
What was your biggest takeaway or like aha moment doing these things?
I think it's really hard because we don't really presume competence when we think about people who are deaf or blind. And yet I think they are really capable. And so how do you keep that in mind when you're trying to help or serve them, especially like in an IEP for a kid with a disability? Like, how do you build independence and autonomy while also giving them all the resources that they need? Because I was without resources. I was without, like, it's not like mom and dad knew what they were doing either, like, whereas like in a school, you'd have people who are specialized in it. You'd have tools and resources and all of those things. And so it just made me want to think that much more intentionally about it.
So cool. So important.
So yeah, school is going okay. I think the fall is going to be painful, but I'm not thinking about that yet. So yeah,
Easy.
I'm doing school. I'm training for the race, which is good. And it's just like it's a big mind game for sure. So just trying to really work on my mindset around it, like believing that I can do it. But I'm getting stronger and that feels good. And I still have like a little over 2 months to train. So I think it'll be okay.
You know, I think when it comes to like training or seeing progress, I think sometimes it's really hard to see when we're in the forest, but sometimes when you're able to take a step back and really see the progress that you've made. Because I think about like, you know, my Achilles, and when I've put together this montage of like what it's looked like over the course of the last 4 months, it kind of gave me a helpful perspective of being like, no, wow, like, no, I've really made progress from like where I started to like where I am. And I think that if you're able to kind of like take a step back and see that perspective, I think you'll be able to like acknowledge those things and appreciate those things and celebrate those successes, because I think sometimes we forget those victories. How about updates on Find Molly, a match starting in May?
Yeah. Well, I can't remember in the last episode. I think I've been on 3 dates. Well, no, 2 dates since the last episode. The one date with the guy that I met online, that was a dud, but a really great opportunity to
Really great
practice,
dud.
clear communication. Basically, he showed up for the date and appeared as if he would rather be anywhere else on the planet than at that date with me. But then following the date was texting and was like, so great. It was so great to meet you. And I was like, I'm just really confused because you didn't appear to be having a good time. And now you're texting me. So can you help clear this up? And so it basically like led to a conversation that I had already pretty much determined, like, this is probably a no. But yeah, I don't know. Ever the psychologist, I helped him process through. Perhaps you're not really ready to be in a relationship right now. I don't know. So anyways, that was a bit of a dud. And then I was supposed to go on another date with um another person that I had met online, and the texting was good. Actually, it was like very normal and very sweet and respectful, and like he set up a date pretty quickly, which I appreciate. Um, but there was something about this situation that just didn't quite sit right with me. And I am I'm on some like different Facebook groups that are like about dating and stuff like that. And some of them are local, and they're used to like, help warn women about possibly dangerous people, or, if they're married or whatever. And so I ended up just being like, I feel like I just should like look it up and see. And sure enough, typed his name in and his photo popped up immediately. And there were 224 comments under
Oh
his
my
picture, which
word.
the average post has maybe like,
How do you know he's not in that group?
well, the vetting process to get into the group is like really intense.
Okay. Is it mostly women in this group? I'm assuming.
It's all, it's all women.
Okay.
And I can't remember, but it was like, it took me a while to even get into the group, because it's not about like trash talking men. It's truly for like safety. Or like, this person is married, this person is not single, like that kind of thing.
It's like rate my professor, but rate your date.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, I read through these comments and it was just kind of like, he's manipulative, he's dishonest, he is kind of aggressive, all this stuff. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? I can't go on this date. And he had literally just messaged me and said, are we still on for tomorrow? And at this point I was staying at mom and dad's house. And so I'm like finding all of this out, and I'm with mom and dad, and I was like, okay, I have a problem. I don't know what to do. Like, he's asking if we're on for tomorrow. I just found out all this information. And he just sounds like someone that you don't want him to know your personal information. Like, the less he knows about me, the better at this point. I ended up messaging him and just being like, hey, something came up. I need to stay at my parents' house a little bit longer. I'm not going to be able to meet tomorrow. Sorry.
What did he say?
He was like, okay, I hope everything's okay. And I blocked him.
So all that to say, like, we legit need to do crowdsourcing and vet whoever you go on dates with, because there are creeps out there who,
I mean, legitimately, he was like so sweet. And now looking back, I'm like, okay, it was too sweet. But like, his kids were with him for Father's Day, and he was just like, wow, you're such a breath of fresh air. You're so smart and cute. It's really refreshing. I was about to delete this app 5 minutes before we matched. And now it's like, oh,
scary.
all of that is so a lie. You dog.
Did you thank all those women for?
Oh my
for
gosh. I
warning
wrote on
you?
there and was like, literally, I was supposed to go on a date with this person today. And you guys helped me dodge a bullet. And they were like, this is the reason why we need to make sure that this post stays
Is
at the top.
pinned.
How
at the
recent
top.
were the comments?
Some as recent as like 2 weeks ago. Well, and then they just posted, someone just posted again in the last couple days of like another profile of his.
That is
I think he's just like a serial dater, like a yeah. I don't know. It's horrible. Online dating is horrible.
Yeah. I mean, so thankful for, like, I mean, I wish that there were better spaces to be able to like rate on people, almost like an Uber driver. Like, if you get 1 stars all the time, you don't get to be on this app anymore or something.
Well, and you can get people blocked or banned, but then they just come back. Because I've seen, I think I matched with a guy once who was like, oh yeah, I've been banned from all of the dating sites. And it took about 0.3 seconds before he got like aggressive and mean just in texting. And I was like, oh, I can see now, you weirdo.
Wow.
But if you unmatch them before, like if you unmatch them, then you can't report them. So you have to like stay connected to them in order to report them.
Yuck.
But even that, the guy who was like, I've been banned on everything, he unmatched me right when I was in the middle of a report.
Dang it.
Mm-hmm. So they've got it
Creeps.
figured out.
Creeps.
Yep.
It's horrible. Truly. And then I went out on Saturday with some coworker friends. They're all married, but they were talking about like being wing women. And so we like went to a couple bars, and one of them, she's just like you, Emily, like no fear, just went up to all kinds of people. And none of the people that she approached were single, because she was just going up to him to be like, hey, just checking to see, are you single? And they were all like,
wow, that's bold.
No, I'm not. And so yeah, we tried to do it in real life. Went to 2 or 3 bars.
Why are they at bars not with their significant other?
That's a good question.
That's what I want to know. Mm-hmm. If my man was at a bar without me, I'd be like, what you doing? Except Alex doesn't.
That would never happen.
Never happen.
Oh man.
Huh.
So yeah, it's bleak out there.
Ugh.
Okay, well, the search continues.
Yeah.
Ladies, be careful out there. And dudes, like, don't be creepy. What are you doing?
They come in all shapes and sizes, though. I was at Walmart the other day. I parked, and this old man would not stop looking at me and the kids. I was like, okay, kiddos, see this guy right here? When someone gives you the ick vibe, listen to it. And Millie was like,
could he hear you?
No, but I was like talking to them. I was like,
wow.
And Millie was like, yeah, mommy, he makes me feel weird. I was like, remember that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
When you feel that feeling, you either ask for help or you remove yourself. You listen to it. But I was just like, stop looking at me, like, because I was trying to do a return and I was doing it on my phone real quick, and he was just looking over at me like this, and I was like,
first of all, you're with your children. Like, what do you? Oh my gosh, hey,
It
like,
was so-
ew, what do you
it
think
was
she's gonna
so-
do?
yucky. And it was like every time I like looked over, he was already looking at me. And so I was like, okay, kids, I want you to all come out this side. Okay, can you crawl under Annie? Like I had all of them with me. And I was like, stay with me. We're gonna come this way. Don't even look. It'll be fine. And thankfully when we got back out, his truck was gone. But
Yikes.
I was just like, Millie girl, you especially. Remember how this feels. And don't give anybody the time of day that makes you feel this way.
Nope.
No.
Anyway.
Well, on that note,
It took a dark turn.
ladies, be on guard.
Maybe we should talk about self-defense.
Yeah.
Eagle claw. Yeah, we could choose a word to discuss. I know we were going to do like these like Instagram inspired questions. I think those will wait until the fall or till we're together again. So
Yeah.
back to regular scheduled programming, season 3.
Go for it, Abby.
Me? 79.
Nature. Yes. Seems fitting.
Nature.
I
I know. I
was
feel like
always
we've all
seeing
been like spending time out in nature in some form or fashion.
What's the instant location you think of when you hear the word nature?
Kachina Trail up on the peaks,
Nice.
the Aspen Grove.
I don't know, like anything with just like mountains and
Mhm.
pine trees, you know. I mean, I literally have it tattooed on me. Mountains and pine trees for multiple reasons, but I just like there's something about the mountains that just bring me lots of peace.
That's funny. I like Kachina Trail too.
Kachina Trail, where is that?
You go all the way up Snow Bowl, turn right, go down a little, and you
Like
just
the
stop
first one, not all the way to the lodge, but like that first.
I think because I can remember I had my Barbie Jeep, my teal Jeep, and I would unzip all the windows and just haul up Snow
Mhm.
Bowl by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And just I think that's like where my love of trail running started. I would just go and run that trail. And so this was the story I was telling Millie. On our camping trip, we would take walks. This past camping trip we just did. Annie wasn't napping, and so we would put her in the bob and go do laps around this campground. So as I was doing laps with the kids, Millie was asking me questions of like, did you go camping, or like, did Nana and Papa have an R pod when you were little? And they were asking all these questions, and I love aspen trees, and I want some in our front yard. And Millie was like, would you rather be an aspen tree or a pine tree? And I was like, definitely an aspen tree. She's like, well, why? And so I told her, I was like, well, when I was like a teenager, I would go trail running. I would drive my Jeep up Snow Bowl Park and do this, basically just this aspen grove trail run. And it would take you to this lookout and you could see really far. And I was like, and that's actually where Daddy asked me to be his wife. And like,
Aww.
so that whole area had just so much meaning to me. And Millie's just like, this is so cool. And it was just really special to be able to,
That's cool.
One, she cared to ask these questions, and they just
I know,
kept kind of
so
coming. And
Mm.
and yeah, I told her how when we were kids we used to camp, and for her timeline is so funny because she's like, so Nana and Papa had their R pod, and I was like, no, that was a little after. And so we talked about like the pop-up and stuff.
Nice.
But anyway, I think even though camping is a lot of work with kids, I think it's the getting into nature that I'm like, I don't even care. I know that once I'm there, it's like, I'm good. The smell, the view, crisp air.
Campfire.
It just is so life-giving.
I feel like I remember this one time, I don't know what I hiked up, whatever, like the smaller hill, Mount
Eldon?
Yes, maybe Mount
Okay.
Eldon, kind of over by the
East
mall.
side. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I never hiked up that one.
I think at one
It's
time
super.
Yeah, it was cedary. I think it was there. I can't really remember, but I remember hiking up at one point and I just sat and looked and it was quiet and it was peaceful. And it just like, I think I've told many a counselor that something about being in nature just like makes me feel really close to God. I think just like being in his creation, there's something about like being in the presence, whether it be an ocean or a mountain, of just like this like humbling position of like who God is versus like who I am. And I just feel his presence and stuff in nature, whether, yeah, it's like an ocean or a lake or mountains. And there's just something really like serene about that. So my current counselor is always like, maybe you should just go spend some time outside, like that's what you need. And it's true. Like it really does good for the soul.
Yeah. I mean, I think Kachina Trail and that space, that open spot, I've had some formative moments there too.
It's just like the perfect spot to sit and be. Can't hear anything. You can't hear.
Yeah, it's quiet. You can see out.
When I was in therapy a few years ago, it was like my first kind of deep therapy EMDR stuff. My therapist had asked me, like, close your eyes. If you could take yourself somewhere, where would it be? And there's this part on the Imogene Trail run down off of Tomboy Road into Telluride that actually, I think maybe that's why like it kind of looks like this spot on the Kachina Trail. Tomboy Trail is just this really intense Jeep trail down into Telluride off of the pass, and it's covered in trees, and the dirt is like red, and the rocks across the way are just like jagged, and there's pine trees everywhere, and it's green and lush, and you're up high and you can see far. And I think I was like, I want to go there. I want to go there because, one, I know I'm almost to the end of this race. Two, I did this. Like, this is mine. This is my spot. This was my work. No one else did it for me. And like the view was just like, yeah, I think like what you were saying, you're just like, I'm so small in this big, lush forest. Yeah, I feel like so accomplished and connected. So it was like, that is where I want to go. And so that became like my happy place of like, when I would have hard days or weird episodes of emotions, it was just like I had to like almost like a meditative state.
Yeah.
So nature.
Yeah, I had this friend who had such an interesting prayer life that was really kind of inspiring to me. I'm not much of a visualizer. I tried doing visualization like with soccer, and I like can't ever think like future. It's always like past, like reminiscing kind of a thing. But anyways, she would always talk about how she would like play in the ocean with Jesus and like talk to him. And I always thought it was just like so interesting to like that kind of like a prayer life and relationship with God. And so when I was meeting with my therapist, I had mentioned like, I'm kind of curious about this whole like prayer visualization exercise. And I don't exactly know what that looks like for me because I'm not much of a visualizer, but like, she's like, okay, let's try. And so, yeah, I was just kind of like, maybe something similar to like what your counselor said, but like, what do you see? And stupid to get emotional about it. But I've just been like through a really hard time of just like feeling alone and just like feeling like just not content with life and just like really questioning like, Lord, where are you taking me on this like journey of life? And so I kind of like saw this like mountain that like climbs up, almost like this like rock thing going up. But as soon as we got to the top, it just like opened up into this like really beautiful valley of like yellow flowers. And so it's just like this really beautiful picture of like on all these like times when life was like really hard, it was him carrying me up this mountain. But as soon as we got to the top, it was like rest, and it was like peace, and it was this beautiful place. And I feel like maybe more recently, maybe when I was in like Crested Butte or something. I can't remember what, but I feel like it was like, this is it. Like,
You
this is the
saw
place
it.
that I saw,
Oh.
which was just kind
Wow.
of cool, whether it be like, it's like what kind of what felt similar, but it was just like such a beautiful practice because it was like this fun little journey of prayer and walking with the Lord and just like him showing me like, hey, like I'm picking you up and I'm climbing up these hard mountains, these hard times, but eventually you're going to find rest in these valleys, which then you think of like Psalm 23. And so anyways, it's just so wild how like when you have these experiences of visualization, like it really truly like takes you back to those places of like, this is where I want to be in like peace and rest and beauty and nature. And like, that's like, yeah. So kind of cool that like, you know, I'm sure that this is probably a practice a lot of therapists do, but anyways, that's mine.
It reminds me of Psalm 18 that talks about that very thing of just like being tangled up in the distress of life and like you just can't get out of it. And then like the first part of it is all about like everything is terrible, everyone's against me, nothing is going my way, all those stuff. And then the Lord comes in and it's like this big earthquake and he like comes in and rescues. And then the verse says he brought me out into a spacious place.
Wow.
And
Cool.
rescued me because he delighted in me. Wow.
I'm looking this up now.
How did you know that?
How'd you find
Because that's a psalm that I have, a friend introduced me to that one when I was in Indonesia.
What's the verse number?
1819.
Oh, that's so good. It does seem like there's something about being in high mountain land that is like spoken scripture. There's something like you're just like, this is it. This is the place.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to go to the secret camping spot with mom and dad up on that?
I don't think so. Did we drive there when we were all here?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Okay. The picture of us with the mountains behind us.
That's right.
Oh, that was the secret.
A
or
little
kind
bit
of
further down the road. But that's another place that you're just like, where like the mountains are such a funky color. You're so high that the mountains are like orange. It just is mind blowing.
Yeah.
There's something about it that it's
When I like legitimately think research shows there is something that like happens physiologically when you're outside, something about like the vitamin D and the fresh air and like something, I don't know, Molly, you probably know more about it, but like that it like physiologically like gives you peace and it helps with your emotions and your mood and all the things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's like my mountain tattoo. It's the mountains and Flagstaff, just because I always like identify as like a mountain girl, but also like the verse that talks about like, I look up to the mountains, where does my help come from? I think that also is like something that is just something that's like that I cling to, which is why I'm like so ready to be back in the mountains, because I think there's like some safety or something about it. Like all the other places just haven't fulfilled the way being in the mountains does.
Well, there's something about the Colorado mountains too. I mean, the Pacific Northwest is one of the most beautiful places in the world, but the majesty of the mountains here is pretty amazing.
I don't know if do you all remember when we attempted to climb a 14er and we almost got to the top and what that looked like at that height of just
the
like
mountains are crazy colors, right?
Yeah.
They're like
you just saw
orange and
tops.
purple and oh, so good.
Pretty cool.
I mean, I think we get our love of mountains, one, because we were raised in the best mountain town, but two, I think mom, it's like a genetic. Yeah. We're genetically predisposed to love mountains.
I'm okay by that.
I mean, she says like before she dies, she wants to have a good view where she lives.
Yeah, that's like, I think living in like big cities, it just has always felt so suffocating. And I'm like, I mean, for a short period of time, it was fine, but like, no, like there's this song, because anytime like I make fun, like little videos or something on Instagram, like when I'm like up, in the mountains or something, there's this one song that goes, and I'm headed to the mountains. I don't know. And like, there's like some little thing but it's just true. Like that is like a happy place for sure.
Well, and I think we're trying to instill that in our own kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't go on lavish vacations or anything, but we are putting in an investment to like make this part of kind of who they become. Like, how do we break away from the hustle? How do we connect with each other, connect with God, grounding, just like all these things that are like, yeah, no, we're like nature and camping. I just feel like they're really formative things. It's not just something we go do. It's like the culture of our family. And we're trying to raise these kids that know how to detach and know where to go to. Like when they need to get away, they know what that looks like, it's nature and disconnecting. And
I will say, Molly, I have like really enjoyed the posts that you've been doing recently on your runs, because obviously you need to train like a little bit more specifically, like trail running and out and whatnot. But like, I am quite jealous of like the things that you're getting, like the places you're getting to go and run and like the views you're getting. So I'm sure though this training is going to be like really hard. I think it's also probably going to be pretty cathartic and therapeutic too, of like getting to explore places maybe you wouldn't have ventured.
No, for sure. No, I can definitely see the appeal of the trail running because you get to be in more beautiful places versus, like most marathons, I think, are just in cities, which is also cool, especially if you're talking about like London or New York City or whatever, like that's pretty awesome. But no, I think the fact that the Imogene run takes place in Ouray, like that's my favorite place in Colorado. So I have to keep remembering that of just like, and the views from the top, just from what I've heard, are kind of make it all worth it. So, but yeah, I think for me, the moments where I've heard from God most clearly have been in usually wide open spaces. But yeah, Kachina Trail is one of them. The ocean at Tulunas, the resort that I think I took you there in the remote islands. Yeah, that's where I knew that I was supposed to go somewhere else other than Indonesia. Yeah, the ocean in the Pacific Northwest. So we've had some like good conversations there, God and I. So yeah, and I just wonder if like clearing out the distractions and just being fully in creation helps you to be more in tune. But it's funny though too, I feel like big cities are also a place where I connect with him as well. Just like where you're surrounded by so many people and cultures and like everything is operating the way that the way that it operates, and it just is like this awe-inspiring moment. I don't know. Maybe it's just a matter of being present. Maybe that's what allows you to be in tune. But yeah, like there are several moments that just stick out. And I mean, it also just sheds so much light on my privilege of where I've been able to travel and the places that I've been able to go. And it's good.
My other favorite thing when it comes to nature is like the nighttime, and when you get to be in like really, really dark skies and really see the stars. And what's so fun is that Kevin loves all things space. Like he is obsessed. And so he'll bring he brought his telescope with us to the lake. Unfortunately, it was a full moon, so he really couldn't see anything. But it's like this really sweet thing that like we both like really appreciate too. Like I'm always like looking for satellites or shooting stars or whatever. And we grew up, in a dark city. So if you went out to like Lake Mary, oh my gosh, the stars were like epic out there. So that's always like really fun too. Again, I think there's something like this like posture of like a reset of like, oh yeah, like this is this is how big I am. And like yeah, God's like much bigger, but yet he still like cares about me and wants a relationship with me and wants a relationship with you. And I think that that's like really cool. But then if we like spin it in like a less like intense way. So I know y'all have probably seen Alone. Is that something you would ever attempt to do, or Race to Survive? I don't know if you've seen that show.
Oh,
It's on
I've been
Hulu.
obsessed with that show. I just
So
watched
good.
the Alaska one, and I'm
Yes.
caught up on the New Zealand one.
It's good. Like, would you ever? I think I would be too much of a wimp. I would probably, you know, click the button pretty soon. Abby, I was telling Kevin, I was like, Abby would be a good partner to like
For Race
do
to
these
Survive,
races
for
with.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The Alone is a little too intense for me because you don't have anything.
Oh, the animals would freak me
And you're
out.
fully on your own. Whereas like the Race to Survive is a little more like you can get the food cache and
Right.
but the challenges that they have to do are I can't do any of like no.
Abby you could do it, Abby.
I should see.
They're like you guys should watch it.
You should watch it.
Alex
It's
would
so
like
good.
it.
Yeah, we're obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Alex, because we've talked about Alone, him and I could never do it. I'm like, no, I love nature, but I hate bugs and I hate the scary animals that want to eat me.
Well, and like you
Yeah.
have to like kill an
Kill
animal and
things.
skin it and like pull
Like,
its
no.
guts out. I don't have any of those
It's like the
skills.
spectrum of like I love nature and I'm like I love nature and like what I can get from it, not what it can get from me. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like a hunter nature woman. That's not really
Right.
the nature vibe I go for. So no, I wouldn't do Alone. Remember that one show Naked and Afraid?
I've never really watched a full episode of that one.
Me neither, but that
That
sounds
miserable.
like a really bad idea too.
I no.
But no, I
but
was
yeah.
thinking because I had been watching that and then went on the trail run yesterday and was like channeling their energy. Because yeah, the Alaska ones, the Alaska brothers, they're so great. You have to watch it. You'll fall
You
in
have to
love
watch
with
it.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
That's awesome.
It's just like sweet. And I don't know, there's just I know we talked about grit a while back, but like there's like a depth of grit in these people. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's impressive.
They're
And
like running 5 miles through the forest without a trail.
with 50 pounds on their back.
Right. With huge backpacks. Then they get in a raft and they have to like go through whitewater rafting for like 8 miles. Then they have to scale a mountain with like all the equipment, like actually scale a mountain. Then they have to like hike down. And then there's like a glacier and they have to scale the glacier to the top. Like it's out of control. I feel like New
And then
Zealand
you
is
go,
far more difficult than Alaska was.
yeah, they got to go spelunking
Oh
and
yeah, they had to go through a cave. Like
like
they had to go all the way 600
think
feet.
like lava. Well, yeah. First you got to rappel down and then you have to like go through lava tubes like that are like 2 feet.
But water, like full on water, like you're swimming through the tubes.
No, I couldn't do that. Water freaks me out too much.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I will say, like the only thing that I've ever come somewhat close to something similar to that was like I dated a guy in high school whose family was very outdoorsy, and we went on a backpacking trip where we literally didn't see anybody for like 3 days. You had to pack out everything. We had dehydrated food that we had to like rehydrate, like super light packing. There came a point where you had to like float our packs down this river because it was just like canyons. It was probably the most like,
is it like Slat Canyon stuff? Like that?
I don't know. No, I don't know. It's just like it was somewhere down in near Sedona where we like hiked down, and like it was just like this full backpack trip, and it was cool. Like I'm glad I did it. I thought it was pretty cool. That was about the closest thing I'll ever get to anything remotely outdoorsy crazy. But I'm also like, yeah, that's not really me. I don't think I could do that like all the time. So, but it was a cool experience for sure.
Before we had kids, Alex and I did a few of those 10th Mountain Hut trips where it's in the wintertime though, where you pack in all your stuff and you cross country ski or snowshoe to these cabins out in the middle of the Colorado mountains.
Whoa.
And it's awesome. It's awesome. And you have to like shovel snow and melt the snow to drink water and cut wood to have fire. And
Wow, that's hardcore.
Yeah.
I'm actually very thankful that I was born in this time and day and age, because I mean, everything's relative. You know, had I been born back in the day where you had to like be a homesteader, I probably would have been able
House
to
on
do
the
it.
Prairie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the
Yes, me too.
Conveniences.
conveniences. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I'd say for me, the closest I've gotten to that kind of whatever is backpacking in like the hills of Thailand, where we would like hike from one village to the next. So we didn't have to forage food or anything like that, but we were staying in like huts with no bathroom and
I just think
scoop
of the
showers.
bugs. Aren't there huge, disgusting bugs?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Pretty intense mosquitoes, snakes.
Nope.
But they also had like cucumbers the size of watermelons that they would just like pick off the side of the road and like chop them up, and then you'd just like eat cucumbers to help hydrate after you've been hiking for so long.
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Can I tell you a story of bugs while on the trip that I was on backpacking? So we would backpack for some time, and then we would stop and put up a tent or whatever and camp the night and then keep going the next day. And we had camped on this like kind of like rock slate sort of a thing. And we were just kind of sleeping out in the open, and you had, headlamps on. And there came a point when it got really dark, and I turned on my headlamp and I looked, and it was like daddy long legs scattering. Like, I mean, they were everywhere, but anywhere you looked, they would like scatter.
Oh my gosh. You weren't in a tent?
No,
What
literally,
did you
you just had to like not think about it.
Did you feel them in your hair?
I was just like envisioning like, okay, these things, they can't bite me, like, even though
That's
they're the most
true.
poisonous thing. But just the idea of like daddy long legs, like literally everywhere. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
just don't think about it. So that was probably
That's
like,
when you get into your mommy bag and you zip it up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. I would have a panic attack.
Yeah.
but here I am, like this prissy, girl who's just like never really done this before. And the rest of them are like, just don't think about it. Or they'd be like, oh, you need to change, eyes forward. And everybody would just turn around and look. And then you would have to like change. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like changing as fast as I can, because I'm, obviously like they trust one another, but it just was like a
Also,
whole.
they're a family and you're not in their family. Like that's
I know.
wow.
Yeah. But like, it just was so interesting to be like, like to experience like this is normal for you all. And for me, this is like way outside my comfort zone, but I'm going to do it. And I'm glad I did it. It was like a really cool experience. Would I do it again? I don't know. Maybe if I had the right people with me, but yeah.
I want to try that someday.
Yeah. We want to take the kids backpacking.
Just to be able to go to places where there aren't any other people.
You get really creative with food and like dehydrating food. It's so cool. Like we had salsa one night, and all you do is add hot water and it comes to life. It's crazy, but it looks like a sheet of paper. Well, it's dehydrated. So
whoa. I feel like we could talk about nature for days.
Seriously.
For real. I know this is like nature part 1. And looking like the near future, how are you going to be spending your time in nature in the like very near future? Whether that's purposeful or intentional or already planned.
Well, next week I'm going to New York City, which is the opposite.
Okay.
No, I really want to do a 14er this summer.
Okay. It's fun.
I'm running out of time, so we got to hurry.
Camping. We're going up to Arrowhead over the 4th. We're doing another camping trip at this place called Kebler Corner. It's at the base of Kebler Pass. Kebler Mountain. I don't know. Camping there. We're going to our favorite one, Caton. And then we get to go to the sand dunes in September.
Fun.
So lots of nature happening. And then even though I'm
Awesome.
not training, I'm getting out to run here and there.
Oh, good for you.
It's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Next week is Kevin and I's 13-year anniversary, which is crazy that that's like, it's been 13 years. But we've always wanted to do like a tiny house somehow, like whether it be Airbnb or something. And so we found this thing. It's called Getaways, and they're kind of like all over the country. And they're these little tiny houses that you can rent. And so we rented one next week, and it's kind of, actually, it's really, really close to where we were at the Y, kind of like south of us in Missouri. There's no water or anything nearby, which is kind of a bummer, but Angus is going to come with us, and we're just going to go spend some time in a tiny house out in the woods. So we'll see how that goes. But I've always been so curious to be like, what is this like simple,
feel like
tiny living? So
cool.
it is hot though here. Oh, like the humidity and stuff. It's not like Colorado. I mean, I know Colorado can get hot, but it's just like hot and humid. So I love like campfires and sitting outside, but that might be not enjoyable. And there's ticks and stuff. So
heck no, man.
So
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So we'll see. But it's just so funny because like I see the pictures of these places and they look so cute. They have these like big windows right where the bed is. So you can just like look out and it looks so lovely and picturesque. And we show a picture to Kevin's mom and she's like, ew, no. Like it was just so funny, like perspectives of people.
Oh yeah. What people view is really wonderful. And that is funny.
Yeah. So that'll
be lovely.
So that'll be my next nature.
Good word. Yeah, that was fun.
We're a bunch of tree huggers.
Very appropriate for summer.
We're a bunch of tree huggers. No, because like I think what's cool is that it takes us, like nature has its own, like for each of us it means something similar but also different. It's deep.
It is deep. It's part of the reason why I have a tree tattoo on my foot,
Someday. It makes me want to throw up. Makes me want to throw up.
Nature. It just,
it was kind of
it was the goal, right?
The basis behind
Interesting.
I don't know.
It literally has, what's it called? A visceral or a, what's the right word?
Yeah.
One day.
I'm the only true tree hugger. Let's just say that.
We should like when we get a certain number of followers, we should tell the tattoo story.
That's a good
okay.
idea.
All right, folks. I'm gonna look it up right now, how many Spotify listeners we have. And once we get to that certain number, that's when we'll share the story. All right, we have 63 Spotify listeners currently. Folks, listeners, if you would like to hear the epic story that these sisters are kind of talking about, we need 100 followers. Once we have 100 followers on Spotify, not on Instagram because we have 86, but it's not really the same. Yeah, 100 Spotify listeners, we will gift you the story of a lifetime.
The most shocking story. The most horrible.
That literally makes me want to throw up.
Horribly shocking story that we will never.
I love that it makes you all want to throw up. That's probably the best part.
We have to take over describing it otherwise.
Yeah. That is our gift to you. Once we hit 100 followers on Spotify, we will share.
Yeah.
So tell your friends. Tell your friends. Go click follow today. A Word with the Girls. On that note, thanks for joining us for A Word with the Girls, a podcast where one word sparks conversation. And we believe in the power of connection and stories. And so we hope that you take this word nature to those around you. See where the conversation takes you. Curious if you all have a place that you go to on those hard days. What do you visualize? Let us know. Send us a picture. I don't know. Whatever. On Instagram, YouTube, or Spotify. So good to see you all. Good to catch up.
Yeah.
See you again soon. All right. Love you guys.
Love you more.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, cute.
Oh, so good.
Whoa. Do you like it?
So comfy. And I like
Yeah.
the length. It's not like,
Yeah.
you know. No, it's comfy and it's got pockets.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally wear this to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the length was like, cool, I don't have to wear leggings.
Right. Love it.
Whoa.
Very good.
Yes.
That's cute. No, fun. Not wearing the right underwear or anything, but cool pockets.
So cute.
Wow. So
Nice.
fancy. Super comfy.
It's like fancy, but also
But,
not.
like, it kinda-
Like you
right,
could
like-
wear it with white tennis shoes and like your,
totally.
yeah,
It kind of reminded me of like the Patagonia dresses.
totally. But I loved the neck on that one. I guess it's kind of like this one a little bit.
Nice
but-
and high.
Join us for A Word with the Girls. New episodes drop every week.